Oh, hello, it's Saturday the 28th of March 2020 and here you are with Dan in Essex, UK. So yesterday I built a compost bin. Now, I filmed a video yesterday of me actually building it, but the wind was hitting the camera, so it's quite intolerable really, so I can't really put that one up. But I thought I'd explain to you how I've gone about building it. It's a very simple structure really, but now I can show you what I've done, explain it a little bit, and hopefully you can see what I've done, and if you want to implement this into your own growing project, why not, hey? Now, so the basis of the project with regards to the compost bin, you can see there, just get that into focus, there you go. So you can clearly see what it is. Now, it's a compound about 7 foot wide, and you can see you've got a pallet either end, and at the back here is a couple of fence panels. So behind this, you can see the actual fence here. See that fence there? But this is another panel there. So the reason I've done this is because I didn't want to have compost right up against the fence because of rot. So what I've done is put another panel behind it so that the compost goes up against that. So there we go. Now, my pallets either end. So you can see I just wobble it there. There's a little bit of movement, but it's perfectly fine for my purposes because basically all it is a compound. So the way that I've held it steady, so the fence at the back is screwed on to the other fence at the back through the arris rails. So if you look at that, look, behind here is an arris rail fence. You can see the arris rails there. So that's screwed on like that. And the pallet either end, is put a block like that on the middle, what should we call this, middle block of the pallet, and screwed that piece of wood here onto it. And what I've done is put some bracing across here onto another piece of wood which is across the pallets at the back. So I think you can see what I've done there. So I'm quite happy with this structure really. I wanted it to be as big as I realistically could get it because I wish to really get back into composting, a thing that I used to do a lot of in the past but haven't done, you know, as much as I should have in recent years, but that can be rectified. So I've got some compost on the cook now. I had some Dalek compost bins which I've still got, but what I've done is emptied them here into the main, this is now going to be the main compost bin, and you know, with some grass clippings on top, and I'm going to let that cook. So with regards to composting, the general sort of idea is 2 parts of carbon to 1 part of nitrogen. That way you avoid that horrible ammonia stink when it becomes anaerobic and just doesn't compost down properly. So that's one thing that I wish to avoid. And what I've done, I put some water on it because compost bins need some water in order to decompose properly. So there we go. So I'm expecting this, you know, to be quite a successful composting area. I may put another pallet down the middle here to segregate it for bins of turning compost, or indeed I might have a load of horse manure. I might go and get some and put that here. So a good cubic metre of horse manure maybe, and a good cubic metre of normal compost could be very, very good indeed, and really should supercharge the garden, supercharge the project here, because the way I look at a compost bin is like an engine room, you know, because at the end of the day an engine needs some sort of fuel, doesn't it, in order to work. And of course building soil quality is something that's incredibly important when it comes to gardening, because you know, that's going to be one of the main things that can help determine the quality of your eventual produce. So what I've done, I've screwed it okay. There's no nails in this. Many of you are aware that I believe quite strongly in screws when I'm making things, because if I wish to, you know, take it apart at a later date, it's much easier and potentially far less destructive to do it with screws, because, you know, using hammers to lever out nails and that can indeed cause problems, can't it? So there we go. There is the compost bin. I may put some wood across the front, you know, screw it to these parts of the pallets, you know, and just leave that there so that I can also put, you know, more in, build some real volume. And another reason I wanted it quite big is so that I can actually stand in here and work if I want, you know, with the fork. I can really mix it. Whereas if a compost bin is small, it can be awkward, it can be uncomfortable, and it's just not nice, you know, in my opinion, to be sort of uncomfortable when one is gardening, because it's really good to have everything, you know, nice and easy to do. When things are easier in the garden, as most things in life, it's much more appealing and pleasurable to do it, and I think one can do a much better job. So there you go. There's the start of my compost bin, and any comments, questions or whatever's, please feel free to post below. See you next time, and you can always check me out on Dan_Home Gardens, and if you like my work, you can always like, share and subscribe. Please feel free to do so. See you next time.